Like,
sometimes, like
okay.
off the court sometimes.
Yeah.
That's my
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And then I was going to ask, I guess, you mentioned shooting.
Yeah.
Is that something that you maybe feel like was a weakness coming into this year and you just addressed it, or is it just something you got better?
No, I feel like it was never a weakness for me. It was just sometimes, like, in the game my freshman year, I probably rushed a couple shots, but I feel like I was able to shoot way better than my numbers show. But it's definitely something that will be shown this season, though.
Okay. What's been maybe the biggest culture shock moving to Iowa from New York?
A culture shock was, come from New York to Iowa. It hasn't been tough, I feel like Iowa just welcomed me with open arms. So I feel like biggest culture shock, food, probably.
Yeah.
The food, yeah.
Good way, bad way?
It's a lot of food in New York. A lot of food. But I'll probably say it's like 50-50. It's cool.
Okay.
What you been eating here? Your go-tos?
If I'm hanging out with Owen Poncheros, that's probably the most I've been eating a lot.
He has an NIL deal with him,
Yeah.
doesn't he? Okay.
Does he get you some stuff for
Poncheros probably been the most I've been eating.
What do you feel like? I know last season you played Kansas, you've played that high level of competition, but what do you feel like the biggest challenge is to, like, now just being in the Big Ten and once it gets into conference play, playing that night in and night out?
I feel like the biggest thing is probably just going to be consistency. Just being consistent, coming to every game, every night, just with a good mindset and just going out to get the win. I think that's the biggest.
How do you feel like, what's the key to having that consistency for you?
The key to that is just basically what we did in the offseason and what we're doing now. Just coming in and day out, getting better in the gym. I feel like during the games it's going to come natural.
What has it been like now? Just you've had more time in learning the system, and just what are your impressions and things you kind of like about the system now?
I actually love the system. Me and Fran, before I committed, we were just talking about how the system is, like how perfectly I would fit in the system, and since I've been practicing, it's been perfect. So.
Is there anything in particular this off season like you've been really focusing on getting better? Or?
Definitely just working on just playing with more pace, just playing with more pace. Definitely worked on every part of my game, every aspect of my game, post area, shooting, just making kind of moves up the dribble, just different things like that.
I mean, it seems like Fran thinks you can basically play almost 1 through 4, basically. Like, I mean, would you agree with that, or just what are your expectations of?
Most definitely. I feel like I can play 1 through 5. Actually, I can guard both positions. I can guard both ends of the floor. Just being versatile. That's part of my game.
At Manhattan, defensively, would you ball screens? Would you switch, or like, do you feel like you can switch on basically anything?
Yeah, I feel like on ball screens I can switch on basically anything.
Okay.
1 through 5, basically.
Okay.
What parts of your game have you had to add since coming to the Big Ten? Or at least refine or improve on?
Parts of games I feel like I added. Definitely more playmaking. Because I feel like the team we have now is definitely a lot of shooters. So at my position, usually it would be like a big or something.
Yeah.
Just take them off the dribble, shooters open.
Because what was more of your role in Manhattan, or how would you kind of describe how you had to play there?
My role in Manhattan is basically just be dominant on the court. Just, I get the ball, score. If defense is be an anchor defensively. So I feel like that's my role in Manhattan. Yeah.
Offensively, how many screens did you set at Manhattan? Was it a lot or not?
I would say yeah.
It was?
I set a lot of screens at Manhattan. Yeah, I was part of like that rotation with the system at Manhattan. So I feel like I set a lot of screens.
Is that, you feel like that's similar here, or like?
Yeah, just being versatile. I feel like you should be able to set some screens and stuff like that. So I wouldn't shy away from those screens. Yeah.
Seydou, you guys have been, I think, complimented by your coach a bunch as being a really deep squad. What kind of contributes to being so deep and so talented with this expectations this year?
Just being a deep squad, that's just gonna help us in the long run. Just besides from me, Laji, Cooper, Chris, just different pieces we can throw at different teams. So I feel like that's the biggest part about being deep.
So as the season gets kind of closer and closer, I know you're mentioning defense being a role, but what's kind of your overall expectations of how you're going to contribute this year?
I feel like this year I'm just going to be able to play my game, be versatile, especially on defensive end and offensive end. Just being able to guard 1 through 5 and then be able to just like score whenever I get a chance to. So
that versatile skill set, like where did you develop that? How did you develop that?
I feel like I developed that when I was about I wasn't always tall, so I mean, growing up before I got a growth spurt, I was obviously in New York a guard, so I kind of got the ball handling skills from there. So when I just grew a little taller, it just came with it.
What did you have like a major growth spurt where you?
Yeah, kind of, like 10th grade.
So,
yeah.
do you know like how much taller did you get?
Probably grew 4 inches.
Okay.
At that time. Yeah.
I mean, the New York area is obviously known for, I mean, it's obviously basketball rich. Like, what is there any things that you take from just that area that you feel like are kind of part of your game?
Simple, just the grit. You know, just being aggressive. You know, I feel like everybody from New York is kind of like aggressive, so I think I just get that part and translate in the court. So.